You're listening to the iGaming News Podcast, your source for global insights, breaking headlines, and expert voices from across the industry. Brought to you by the team at iGaming.news, we go beyond the press releases to spotlight the people and trends shaping the future of betting, gaming, and iGaming regulation. Whether you're an operator, affiliate, supplier, or a regulator, stay ahead of the curve right here. In this episode of the iGaming News Podcast, we sit down with Ivan from SBSB FinTech Lawyers to discuss the evolving legal landscape of the global iGaming industry. Hello, Ivan, and welcome to the iGaming News Podcast. It's really lovely to have you on today.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It's very wonderful opportunity to have to visit you here and to talk about interesting stuff.
Certainly is. And for those who may be unfamiliar with SBSB FinTech Lawyers, could you tell us about the firm and the specialist services you provide to the global iGaming industry?
Sure, SBSB FinTech Lawyers started from 2013, yeah. So we provide legal international services. We in the sphere of crypto, fintech, gambling. So we provide turnkey solutions. So we do not only legal, but we also work like business consultant and help our clients to launch their project from scratch, from choosing the right jurisdiction, taxation regime, and till bank account opening, PSP connection. Also, we have partners with software, so we do all stuff, and clients rely on us, trust us. So that's our main goal, yeah, to make our clients happy.
Fantastic. And obviously, as you know, the iGaming sector, it moves incredibly fast. From your perspective, what have been the biggest shifts in the legal and regulatory landscape over the last couple of years?
Yeah, that's pretty hard question to define the only one. Yeah, because in my opinion, is the very crucial step is that regulation is strengthened. So if you're talking about past the past, yeah, everyone worked just on Curacao license. That's it. Now there are a lot of local licenses appeared, so it's pretty hard to work in this jurisdiction without local license. For example, like France, Germany, even Lithuania. Yeah, that's pretty big lab here. Yeah, and for example, not only Europe, it's also Latin America market. It's also African market where it is needed to have a local license there. But for me, the most crucial step was that now not only Curacao, you can open your company, you can incorporate a business into, you can receive a iGaming license. Yeah, there are also very good opportunities from Curacao, and Curacao is not the easiest way now to obtain a gambling license. Yeah. So as it was like the easiest way a lot of decades. Yeah, it was the fast, easy budget thing, and not big compliance. Yeah, and now things become different. Yeah, Curacao is not the same Curacao as it was a decade ago. So for now, Curacao has a very huge compliance staff. Yeah, they try to issue the license only for those projects who comply with all compliance rules issued by regulator, and it make license more prestigious, more difficult to obtain, and a lot of projects they just moved from Curacao because of it, because they want something chill, something relaxed. That's a big issue because I know a lot of operators that left Curacao, and I couldn't predict it even 5 years ago. Yeah. I thought Curacao will be always always the one option, but now it's different.
So there's a growing interest around licenses such as, I suppose, Liberia and areas like that outside the traditional jurisdictions that we associate with iGaming. What else do you think is driving demand for these alternative licenses?
Oh, as on if you're talking about like 2 years, if you ask me this question, I would tell you there is only Anjuan that is an opportunity to have a license, and now there are pretty more options. So you can have Comoros license like Anjuan still, you can have Liberia. You can have Saint Nevis license, you can have Kanawaki license, you can have Tobic license, and they all have own advantages and disadvantages. So you need to choose carefully about them. Yeah, and it depends on your goals. What do you need, and what market do you want to enter? That's very interesting. What is now happening in the iGaming market?
AML and KYC requirements continue to tighten globally. How much pressure are operators now under from regulators when it comes to compliance standards?
Yeah, so if we are talking about compliance, it's a very crucial stuff because there is a great tension from international organization like FATF, other anti-money laundering inspections from different countries, and they monitor players' behavior. They control anti-money laundering. They want that operators used procedures with know your customer, and it's very important what is happening for now, because if we are talking about Curacao, for example, a decade ago, no one cared actually about AML and about KYC. There were just policies on the websites, and I personally know some projects. They just put some policies on their website, and they didn't follow it. That was just a formality. And for now, it's different. The things is different because you need to think how you will actually on the practice you will implement these policies. If the company have enough resources to do that, if the company have enough qualified staff to do that, if the company has connected a reliable provider, KYC provider, who can make transactions smooth. And now a lot of iGaming operators, they are competing with each other. They want to comply with regulator, comply with KYC AML rules, and be comfortable, be easy going for the customer, because it's a very hard topic. Because if you make more obligations on the customer side, it means there will be less conversion rate. We are talking about leads. Yeah, so for business, it's always easier to not just control, to onboard every customer, but we are going in the different side. For now, businesses more responsible, become more responsible. They care about this compliance stuff. They started to find resources, to find budget, and to think about it beforehand, because not when they launched, but before they launched. And what changed? Regulators started to control it, because if you do not control, if you do not have a responsibility for violating some rules, nobody will follow it. So that's a very crucial point. What's happening in KYC AML industry? Yeah, because there are actually big fines to big players on the market because of violating some KYC AML rules. And now a lot of operators started care about it, because they do be fined, do not will to be fined. Yeah, that's obviously.
And that brings me nicely on to my next question. I know you work with many new brands and startups. So many startups initially view compliance as a challenge or a cost burden. Why is strong compliance now becoming a competitive advantage for operators?
It's very crucial. It's very crucial because if you do not have a strong compliance, you will have problems. You will have problems with the license. You will lose it. So that's a problem. If you do not follow the rules, you will just take the risks connected with that, and risks, fines, losing license, and you can even get a criminal responsibility for not doing the right stuff. That's a very very crucial issue because, as I said, for now operators care, and also it's very important that we now seen it the trend that operators started to get local licenses and expand their markets, and they do not want to be illegal. Of course, they want to be legal and comply with all the regulations. So, if you want to enter the big market, for example, I don't know, USA or France or Lithuania or other countries, you need to get a license for it, and that's why you will not get a license if you do not enough strong in compliance side. So that's very important, and eventually this local license will gives you more marketing opportunity, listing on App Store, Google Store, target in Google. You will eventually get more clients. So this actually compliance, making the operator strong compliance, making operator as an advantage.
White label and turnkey casino solutions continue to grow in popularity. What legal considerations should businesses understand before entering such agreements?
Yeah, so if we are talking about also decades ago, yeah, because our company is working from 2013, yeah, we we saw a lot of stuff on this market, yeah, and previously were operators that actually didn't care about what games using. They used some games. They don't care about their bags, some glutes. Yeah, that's okay. But for now, not only operators care, but regulators care about it. And you will not receive a proper license if your private label provider or platform provider, game provider will not have a regulatory license, will not have RNG certification, a game certification appropriate for those jurisdictions where the operator having a license. So the market working from the side of the operator, if the operator will not work with licensed platform providers, they will lose their license. So that's for to choose the right operator, you need to check if the platform provider has appropriate license, if they have enough certification for it. If your regulator, where you incorporated, for example, on Anjuan require B2B license Anjuan regulator. If you want to be in Malta, you also need to have appropriate licensed platform for it. So that's very important, and we also see now the trend for a lot of B2B license. So we have a lot of clients for game certification, for getting a B2B license in Anjuan, in Malta, and Curacao. That's also a trend. What we are seeing now.
Of course, blockchain-based casinos remain major talking points across the industry. Which jurisdictions are currently taking the most progressive approach towards crypto gaming regulation?
Yeah, if you're talking about crypto gaming, for now is a boom for predict markets applications. So like Polymarket is a very successful project, and we have a lot of requests. They want to repeat the success of Polymarket. So that's very important. And there is a problem with such games, yeah, because there are no regulation about the prediction market. So if we are talking about this application and the project want to be established in Europe, so they need to have a payment license because their token is based with a stable coin. It's usually qualified as a stable coin, and in Europe is like, so you need to have a payment license to issue e-money tokens. The second one, you make an exchange token to fiat or token to other crypto. It's subject to MiCA license, second license in Europe. And the third one is gambling. So if you want to have such crypto gambling legally in Europe, you need 3 licenses for it. So Polymarket now is not working in Europe. So they decided to work in USA and not regulated countries. For crypto, I think now a lot of countries prevail where it is not regulated, because if the market is regulated as USA, for example, so Polymarket is qualified like financial activity as something similar to binary options, and they receive appropriate licensing. But if we're talking about, for example, Costa Rica, yeah, where it is not regulated, or Panama, where also Polymarket is registered, so it is easier to have an entity there, to not receive very huge licenses, and operate in those countries where those activity is not illegal and do not require additional licenses. So that's how market of crypto gaming is working. So if you are talking about traditional crypto gambling, as I say, because if you, for example, take money in crypto, you doing some stuff with crypto processing, so it's usually applied for a traditional gambling license like Anjan, like Curacao, so that's not a point. But if you want to be like Polymarket or other innovative crypto gambling, that's a very hard topic. And my advice, start with non-regulated license entities. And after that, after you grow up and are ready, for example, for US market, you need to obtain a license for US market where this activity is licensed, and you require a strong compliance also assessment to get this license. So crypto gambling is developing, but still mostly such projects are registered in non-licensed jurisdiction like Panama, Costa Rica.
And looking ahead, what do you believe will be the biggest legal or regulatory trends shaping the future of iGaming in the next, say, 12 months?
I would say it still will be a strengthening of regulation. There will be new countries who will develop their local licensing because it's money. Yeah, it's money for the country. They receive a local license, they receive government fee, they hire local staff, they rent local office. It's all taxation. It's all about economics, actually. So I predict that there will be more local licensing, and regulators will stimulate offshore operators like Anjou and Curacao to obtain more local licenses. So that will be the trend of future year, 2 year. I think it will work in, because now what I am seeing that not regulators started not to find some Anjou and Curacao operators, because it's usually not working because their company is registered overseas. So it's actually hard. But for example, if Anjou operator wants to work in European market, so they need a reliable gambling provider, platform provider. They need a reliable payment system. So the regulator will find not the operators, of course they will find also an operators, but the payment system also who allowed the anti-money regulator to accept clients' funds, and also platform provider who provided those games to this offshore regulator. So I see that this trend will strengthen. That will be a lot of new license regime appear, and also the operators will obtain more local licenses. And the second one is I predict boom of prediction market. I think I believe in it. I think also government will develop the great legislation. Zurab works on it in Europe, as I know. So I think we will see how governments will doing about it. So I think it will change, and there will be a legal regime for those companies, and prediction market will success eventually, because clarity and transparency is always good. Yeah, always good. Yeah.
Of course. And what advice would you give to entrepreneurs or operators looking to launch at scale in the current climate?
As for now, it's still the time to try. Yeah, so you can still obtain offshore licenses and try to start operate to test your MVP in unregulated markets. So it's not late to start your own iGaming operators. So it's the right time now. As further the regulation will strengthen, it will be harder to enter those markets. So my advice is to start to launch the casino. For firstly to think about offshore operators. After you developed all your compliance stuff, after you hired enough qualified employees, you need to go to local licenses. And the next advice is maybe to look into prediction market area. It's booming, and we'll see a lot of innovation here, I think.
And lastly, Ivan, what do you do outside of the iGaming industry to relax and unwind when you're not working at the business?
Oh, I like traveling. I travel a lot. I've been already in 23 countries. It's not big number, so I'm still explore new countries. I also love wine tasting, so it's also my passion to find the best wine in the world, to try it. So that's also my passion. Reading books, I like reading books. That's also my passion because I try to read at least 30 minutes per day, because it's for personal developing. And also a lot of interest in the world of in the mine industry. Actually, I'm always very interested to read something new in crypto, in investing, in gambling. So that's also what I'm doing. I'm very curious. Curiosity is, I think, what I like in people. That's very important.
Thank you. Well, thank you for your time today, Evan. It was lovely to chat with you.